Hello, Brave Masters. Welcome. I'm your business and brave strategist with a tongue tie, right? And just wanted to jump in here and have a conversation about speak up or sit down. This was a decision I had to make couple years ago, about 6 years ago, actually, that totally shifted my business. And just thought I'd jump in here and talk about that. So if you're here live, please say hey in the chat or in the comments. And if you're on the replay, hit hashtag replay so I can say hello to you as well. I see some people joining. I love it. Hi, Kathy and Cherie. It looks like Vicky, Scott. Hello. I love it. Welcome. So hopefully you guys can stick around. Just want to have a quick conversation about what's happening, where I am, and what this whole thing is about speak up or sit down, and what really happened, and how it can shift your business as well. And so one thing I wanted to share was number one, it was just a decision that I made. And hey, Jeremy, hello, Kathy, I love you too. And it was a hard one. Back 6 years ago. I've been an entrepreneur, for those of you newer to me, for about 13 years. And I've gone through different iterations of my business and certainly tried a million different things. And the thing that was happening at this point was 6 years ago, 2012. I have to get my times right because we're in a new year. But it was December 2012, so basically 6 years. And was that I was working in a partnership with my husband. We were running a web and graphic design company, but I had been networking like crazy. And I don't know if anybody can relate to this, but crazy networking, like 3-4 times a week for 5 years. And now, not to say it didn't work at some level, because it did. It definitely grew our business. However, it still had me eluding the real quantum leaps that I wanted to make in my business and crossing the six-figure mark and all of that. So I was still playing small. I was still getting small results, in my opinion. It was tough. It was effective, but I knew that I could do more because I was watching and observing others doing more, but I was scared. I was terrified. I was not willing to put my brave on and put myself out there. And so in 2012, with the help of others, I had a coach at the time. I always have a coach. And I had, my goals and desires and like all of that happening and right in front of me. But I had to be the one to make the decision. And the decision was speak up or sit down. Right? Speak up or shut up, really. It's like, I keep saying I want these things. I keep saying that, I want these results or these quantum leaps in my business. And we have to get out of our own way, in my opinion. And so that was the decision I had to make. And I always say that I always said there was 3 things that helps you get your brave on. And that was decision, right? Inspired decision, commitment, and commitment to that decision, and then ultimately brave action. And I just added one yesterday. I was journaling. I'm so excited. I've started this morning kind of basically spiritual practice. It's getting quiet, being able to really hear what my thoughts are and what the truth is for me. And I've allowed the noise to take over. And so I started this practice about a month ago, and it's changing my life. Like, let me just tell you that. You'll probably continue to hear more about that. But here was the thing, is that what I heard yesterday was curiosity is the beginning of brave. You have to get curious about what else could be possible. What if I did this instead of that? Or, what if I got my brave on and made a new decision and got committed to it? What would be the result, or what could happen, right? So curiosity, I think, is the spark. And then ultimately you have to choose. You have to make that decision. So I'm talking today about speak up or sit down because, like I said, in that moment in 2012, I got very clear that I was holding myself back, playing small, diminishing my light, as I call it, because I was I was trying to protect myself and also what I thought I was protecting others, that my loved ones, and wanting to keep them from feeling a particular way or feeling, you know, competitive with me or anything. Like, I was making all this up, by the way. It was all made up. And so I had to recognize that. I had to get mindful of what was I making up about this? What story was I telling myself? And get curious, make a decision, stay committed to that decision, and then take brave action. So I made a decision to speak up. And that looked like getting in front of more audiences, getting on front of the stage. I was not a public speaker. I was terrified of it. And hey, Lauren, how are you? And Gail, nice to see you here too. If you're here, please say hey in the comments. And so I just wanted to impose upon you, or not to impress you, but to impose upon you, like, what is it that you need to make a decision about in your business around getting more visible and showing up more, and really stepping into the potential that I know you have, and I know that's available to you. And so I am on a mission to help as many entrepreneurs truly speak up in their business, because guess what? When you do something like this and a handful of people or 100 people or however many people have watched this video, that's one to many. It's one to many of you, right? Versus one to one, or meeting at coffee shops one by one, or even networking where I only had 60 seconds to introduce myself to a small group of people. And I wanted to make a bigger impact. I wanted to invite people to really understand what I do and how I can help and what am I talented at, et cetera, et cetera. And if we aren't willing to share more about our business and then figure out how to leverage that, then it just goes really slow. It just takes time, and I don't have time. I got urgency on the brain. And what urgency means for me is I have a purpose, I have a drive, I have a mission and a movement that I'm committed to, right? The commitment's there, but am I willing to take the action? So I see a lot of people make decisions and say they're committed, but then the action's missing. And the truth is, you can't have any of them missing. You have to have all of that. And then when you take action, you have to continue to commit to that action at some level. And so that's what I want to find out from you is, are you ready to speak up, or are you going to stay in the audience? Are you going to stay seated, right? And not really show up fully as you know you can. And I just want to impose upon you that that's the shift. That's the thing you've got to make a decision about right now in order for things to actually start to show up differently. And so I want to invite you actually to a quick phone call with me if this is something that you would like to implement in your life, in your business. And if you were anything like me back 6 years ago, I was terrified. I was like, I hadn't spoken before, and certainly not in front of 30, 40, 50, 100,000, whatever people. And knowing what to say was my biggest challenge. And like, I don't know what to say. I don't know. Do even but people want to hear it, right? And I have a process and a system and a proven method now that I've created to eliminate all of the fear, eliminate the guesswork, eliminate the I don't knows and the how do I's, right? And figuring out the process. And I put that in my online course. And so I'm actually launching a new variation of this course. And I'm so excited because I'm going to coach you and accelerate you through the process. So I know we buy a lot of programs and we're self-paced and we have unlimited access to these things, and then we don't do anything with them. And I don't want that investment. I don't want you to invest in that way. I want you to get the support that I know will accelerate your investment and your return on that investment. And so I'm adding the accelerator to this program. So not only do you get lifetime access to the course, which is amazing. If other people can tell you more about that. If anybody here is actually in the program, please speak up. I would love to know your thoughts about the program. And I'm adding group live coaching with me. You have access to me for 6 weeks so that you are not alone. And the 3 things I know people need most help with is, how do I get the gigs? And if you've been speaking, how do I get more? And if you've been speaking, but you haven't been getting the results because they're not converting, the talks aren't converting, or you don't know what else to add to it or change about it, then that's the other piece. And I have a system around that. It's called the magnetic talk system. And I will actually work with you on your talk and make sure that you are clear of whether or not this, you've got it going in the right direction or what tweaks to make, right? And then third is ultimately how to close and convert and enroll people into your programs, and therefore make more money and clients, and in a way that's very real and very honest and with an integrity and all of that. And that's really what this program moves through. But I know those are the three big things that people struggle with most. And I'm going to help you accelerate through that. So all I'm asking is, if you're interested in learning more, you can just type a 1. Actually, keep it simple. Put a 1 in there, and then I will actually message you my calendar. And I have spots open this week. I'm actually heading to Miami Sunday for my client's mastermind. I can't wait. I'm so excited. That's my higher level mastermind. So I have some spots open just in the next couple days that I've made available for those of you that are ready to, to consider this. So please put a 1, and then I will reach out to you and get you scheduled to make that happen, because I want to make sure I can serve you at the highest level. It's a new year. It's a beginning. Every month, every day is actually. It doesn't have to take a new calendar year to start over and make a new decision. And that's really where we are you going to speak up or sit down in your business? And I leave you with this. I said this recently at one of my talks, and I wholeheartedly believe that if you really embrace this that I'm going to share with you in your life, then it's the difference between having and receiving versus not having what you really desire. And this is what it is be the artist, not the canvas, and be the creator, not the clay in your business. And all that means is you've got to make the decisions. You've got to own it. You've got to create it. You've got to say yes, not let the canvas and the clay do the work, because it doesn't work that way, right? So I leave you with that. Please join me, and of course, there's no obligation. It's just a conversation to see if it's something that you might be a good fit for, and I'm ready if you are. So thanks so much, and I will talk to you again on my next live or next talk, or see you around town, right? So I love you guys, and stay brave. I'll talk to you soon.